Hey, what's up, Kalen here? And we are trying out something a little wild today, which is I am going to scroll through the internet, mostly Twitter, and just sort of do some reactions, sort of reaction videos, just for the heck of it. You know what I'm saying? Happy Friday, everybody. Um, yeah, I've been getting into the habit of doing phone calls every day, some of them podcasts, some of them just calls, and had a cancellation today, so figured, you know what, I'm gonna just do this. So I'm messing around with this little green screen background situation. Obviously, this my chair jobby here is kind of killing the vibe a little bit, but I do have a new thing on the way to change my sitting setup so that this is not in the backdrop. Clean things up a little bit, constantly iterating on the setup here. All right, so let me dive on in. Let me jump on in. So to this happened quite a while ago, July 2nd, 2020. That Garyvee, who I'm a huge fan of, huge Garyvee fan, I found out that he sold Empathy Wines, which was his wine brand, and I was really surprised by that because yeah, I was surprised on multiple levels because he had started it pretty recently. I want to say he'd started it a year prior. Of course, this particular article is not super informative, but like the first, like, is this an incognito? Yeah, this is an incognito. You always got to go incognito window when you do a screencast. Anyways, these links up here were not working for me because of my ad blocker. Oh, but now I don't have. Now I'm in incognito, so they'll work. Pretty sick. Yeah. So founded 2019. Um. Anyway, he talks and he sold to Constellations, who apparently is like the biggest company in the universe when it comes to this, wine and I guess different types of beverages. I don't think it says. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it says that. Oh no, wait, no, that's talking about Wine Library. I don't know if there's any numbers on what it sold for. I'm imagining he just got offered a stupid amount of money for it. But even then, what I don't understand is because Gary Vee's thing is like the goal is all about the long-term goal of buying the Jets, and then the plan is to like start a couple of brands along the way, wait for sort of like the economy to sort of wait for kind of a recession so you can pick up a nostalgic brand and then buy that brand and then shift focus from his marketing agency to building a brand and then build that up and then be able to sell that for a lot of money, over a longer time frame. So I just don't understand why he would have um, why he would have sold it so soon. And also because the wine thing, it seemed to me, is such a personal thing for him, like wine being part of his family and everything, kind of his whole origin story is all about wine. And I don't know, I just like, I thought I saw him holding this for a long, long, long time. It's such a cool brand. Actually, I was at a buddy's house recently and they had some and I saw it and I was like, oh, cool, you got Empathy Wines and stuff. Um, but uh, but yeah, it's just I'm just kind of surprised that what does this say? Adobe. Yeah, I'm just kind of surprised that they sold it. Maybe he just got a ridiculous amount of money and just figured it would make more sense to take that and parlay that money into, something else to get him further along towards his goal. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Um, all right. Let's move along here a little bit. Let's scutter. Let's scutter along. No, I don't want to log in, Twitter. I'm doing a stream here in my incognito tab, and I definitely don't want to log in. Okay? All right. Well, I guess that thing is just going to show up there because reasons. Okay, so this is just random, but so here's the deal. Um, I was like, what was I doing? Oh, I was on a call or a podcast or something, And I found myself, I kept looking at the clock on my Mac over and over and like going like, "Oh, are we done yet? Are we how close to done yet are we?" Or how, and it was distracting. I was like, I need to turn the clock off on my thing so I'm kind of more present, more in the moment on my podcasts and calls. But then I was like, so I turned it off yesterday, and then this morning I was doing some other type of work, like I was doing some coding stuff, and I kind of have this schedule where like at 9 o'clock I'm trying to do certain things, and then at 10 o'clock I'm trying to get into my email. So I very much want to know what time it is. So then I was like, oh, I guess I should turn the clock back on. So I went to turn it back on, and then I found this setting, announce the time on the hour. I was like, holy cow, it's like best of all worlds. Like I can have it off, um, I can have the display off, but then I can just have it announce every hour on the hour so I'm aware of what's going on. So then I enabled it and then it didn't seem to work the first time. So then I tweeted this. And then at like 9 o'clock, it didn't work. But then at 10 o'clock, it worked. So, moral of the story, we're good to go. This is a neat feature. Shout out to Alex and Mark Thomas who have replied there. So that was cool. It's a cool feature. We'll see how much usage I can get out of that. Day 26 in the calorie journey. So yesterday was weird because my wife went to Zoe's, which is this really good Greek place, and she brought me home some leftovers, and I also had some taco. I made myself a couple of bean and cheese tacos while I was waiting. So I had those, and then I also had a pretty fat plate of veggies and chicken kebab and salmon kebab. By the way, who knew salmon kebab was a thing? But it was pretty good. And so I was sure because I don't count my calories in the immediate moment. I do it the next day, and I kind of scratch down what I'm eating so I don't forget. But then I was like, when I added up this morning, I was like 1365. I was sure that I was going to go over my goal of like 1750, and I was like blown away by that. Turns out I did miss a few things, which I then added back in, and I'm at 1605, which is still surprising to me because I really thought I was going way over. But yeah, it's been cool. Day 26. I've been chugging along with this whole calorie thing, trying to lose some weight. Kind of plateaued. I weighed myself today and I was at 189.8, which is up zero point 0.8 from last Friday. Last Friday I was 189. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I might need to, these cheats on the weekend might be killing my weight loss. I might need to severely limit those. On the other hand, if you're gaining muscle, and I feel like I'm gaining a little bit of muscle from weightlifting, and you're not gaining weight, even if you're just staying the same, that's kind of a win. And I feel like visually, I feel like I'm seeing some improvements. So I don't know. It's hard. I think I'm just trying to find an excuse to not have to give up my cheat days because I basically live for my cheat days. That's basically all I live for in life are my cheat days on Saturdays. The whole rest of the week, all I'm doing is trying to get from Saturday to Saturday so I can wake up, eat donuts, eat pancakes, and eat pasta at Olive Garden. That's all I want in life. If I could fast forward my entire week to just eating pancakes on Saturdays, I would definitely do it. I would for sure do it. So that's what's up with that. Hope this video is still recording okay. Looks like we're recording okay here. It's looking good. All right, so I've been scheduling more calls and podcasts, which has been cool. Been recording more stuff, and I've been using Calendly more. And I have this whole thread on Calendly. So every time I have something related to Calendly, I thought this video was hilarious, but I don't know if other people did. Um, and then so I'm all booked up for August. Uh, so then I posted. I was sending somebody the link. And one thing Calendly does that's kind of annoying is it like I'm not going to show it, but it like changes the URL to the current month or whatever when you click on it. Anyway, it's weird. But I was like, oh, cool. I got my whole month booked up. And then I posted weird flex, but okay. There's a whole podcast episode, I think, on Reply All that explains this phrase, weird flex, but okay. If you don't, if you haven't seen that, you got to see it. Let me see if I can Google it. Reply All, weird flex, but okay. I really hope Google is not. Okay, here you go. Boom. Perfect. See, Snapchat thief. You got to watch that. I don't want to, no spoilers, no spoilers. You got to watch, you got to listen to that. That was a great podcast episode. That was a fantastic podcast episode. Wonder if I should live stream these bad boys. Wonder if I should live stream. So this is a cool tweet. So shout out to Chris Cantino here. Started a business so you could be your own boss? Question mark. Sorry, customers are now your boss, which is totally true. Um, as a business owner, you have a bajillion customers. And yet it's true, and yet it's not true, right? Because you get to decide what your schedule is as a business owner. You get to decide a lot of things. So this was actually a joke. It probably can't tell it's a joke. The whole co-CEO thing's kind of funny to me, but so except I decide what my schedule is and stuff like that. Customer and I are like co-bosses, right? Like it's not they're the boss. We're kind of co-bosses. We're like co-CEOs. Um, Nobody's gonna think that was funny at all, but I do. I think that's funny. I think it's hilarious. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it is hilarious. Okay, check this out. Teardrop trailers. You may not realize it. By the way, is this gonna show all of my search history in here? That's not good at all. That is not good at all that it's pulling up my search history. Okay. All right, this is a problem. This is pulling in all my weird. See, I was looking at this Teddy Swims video and I was like, what is his patience tattoo all about? I'm really gonna need to audit that search history before I post this because let's be honest, could get a little gnarly in there. Okay. So I'm thinking to myself, I need to get a teardrop camper trailer in my life. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, look, this thing, I mean, there's some that are bigger, but like a smaller one, I'm like, this thing cannot cost more than like $1 or $2,000, especially if it's used. But like, it is wild. Like, these things will cost, first of all, they're not even showing you prices on this website. That's how you can just tell how absurd the prices are. Let's go over here, little guy trailers. You think to yourself, okay, little guy, like, these are going to be real, real affordable. We're gonna get the little guy max, the little guy mini max. Check this one out. Check out how much this is about to cost. Okay, take a look at this. Do they not have the prices here? Okay, they also do not have the prices, which is going to drive me crazy. Maybe if I click build. All right, the moral of the story is these things cost $10,000 to $20,000, which, and even used, they cost basically the same. It's absurd. It is criminal and it's highway robbery. So anyway, I'm trying to figure that out. All right, next up. Um, Shout out to Peter Manijak, who we've had on the Mage Talk podcast on several occasions. He really did I was really pretty impressed with how he built out the M2 certifications. I think he did an excellent job of that. Vinay here's mentioning that he's leaving. Where did he say that he's leaving? Oh, here we go. You put your heart. Who has moved to a new position outside of Magento. So this is the first time I saw this was this morning, and it's interesting correlation because just what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, we saw the thing come out with the Adobe rebrand of the certifications, and it was just kind of bizarre how they had all the, like, everybody was tweeting about it because like they named them like things that were a little funny sounding, and like the capitalization and spacing was all, it was just bizarre. It was, I guess you could say, minor things, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, and then all the logos were all just changed to Adobe logos, so it was just kind of like, okay. It just feels like maybe there's not the love and attention that we would like to see on the certification program. So, anyways, yeah, I guess a touch concerning. Now, some good commentary here in the comments um, that I want to touch on. My boy Philip said, Peter will be missed. That said, it's not like Adobe doesn't have experience implementing certification programs across its otherwise very large and very impressive business. Logos don't make a certification, the content does. Totally agree, and I haven't read Vinay's thing yet, so I want to reply before I read that. I mean, that's true. That's definitely true. Like I said, the logos, the capitalization or spacing issues, or whatever, are sort of superficial, but I think also at the same time, like the devil's in the details. And it is true that Adobe is an impressive and a large business. At the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that any individual thing under the Adobe umbrella is going to get all the attention and love it deserves. And I think some of the things with the certifications that we saw kind of show maybe a little bit of a lack of attention to detail. At the same time, I don't want to be super negative. I'm trying to work on that, be less negative. It's easy to kind of just be negative about everything. So I'm trying to be more positive. But yeah, but I don't know. I'm a very much a believer in like individuals. Like I think that who like Peter as an individual, I think really made some tremendous impact. And of course, the organization as a whole does it, but I think that if you lose a key individual that has responsibility of a certain area, I think who's going to fill that gap basically. Vinay says true, but it doesn't seem like they are able to grasp the implications of an open source community around a product. And honestly, those names, they're not good. Yeah. So it's like, it's funny. It's kind of like the hard things about computer programming are naming things in cache invalidation. It's like, yeah, it's like naming things is sort of a superficial issue, but at the same time, um, and it's funny because I remember making fun of the professional and associate certifications early on. 'Cause I thought those names were I wasn't super into those names. Maybe I just complain about everything related to certifications. I don't know. But but yeah, like the whole just like grasping the open source community as a whole. And there's a lot of talent that was Magento side that helped get Magento to where it was, and like if that talent leaves, like how is that going to be filled? Like it doesn't just magically, those gaps don't just magically get filled just because there's an organization that is a certain size and has parts of the organization that are good at certain things. So yeah, so I think I kind of agree there. Luis says, couldn't agree more about it, but let's hope that this is the bottom of the pit and the only way from now and on is up. Savagely knocks on wood. That's hilarious. It's because of Peter Manijak's work on making Magento certification to be such a standard that I feel proud to wear my certification badge and my email signature. Yeah, like I really think like the number of times over the past year or two that I've heard like how hard that professional certification was to get and probably still is, just leads me to be impressed with it. That and other things. Um, my ear here giving some shout outs. Laura Falco, who I think has been involved in the training program as well. So that's cool. Cool stuff. Cool beans. Cool beans. Adam Wathen here, creator of Tailwind, host of Full Stack Radio, all around beast. Just noticed that Tailwind is being used on Seth's blog, Seth Godin's blog. And he says, such an enormous fan of Seth's work. Feel like a giddy little kid right now. That's just super cool. Like, I love Tailwind. I've been using it recently. And I can't wait to try out the new Teams section that they launched recently. So I just thought that was cool to see. Like, I'm just real impressed with Tailwind and with Adam in general. And that has to be an exciting moment. um, I'm also like a huge fan of Seth Godin, and like if he was started using something that I did, I'd be like mad pumped. All right, next up. This was from this is a little experiment for me on the fly here. Um, this is a tweet from Cy, my boy Cy, about E-commerce sites get more high quality traffic for free, even if you don't advertise. Opt into the Google Merchant Center programs and set up your data feeds right. So a lot of what Sai does over at Cyberware is data feeds, product data feeds, and stuff like that. So I was interested in learning more about this. Um, I haven't read this yet, so it's probably going to be really boring if I just try to read it. Sometimes, like, I see something that's interesting and I'm like, okay, let me see if I can read this and commentate on it on the fly. And then it usually does not work very well. But I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. Give it the old college try. When Google deployed their surfaces across Google program, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give up on this because um I don't know. It's like there's things that I'm like interested at a high level, like free product listings on Google sounds interesting. But then I just when I get into the details, I'm just like, not that. I'm interested, not that, but not interested enough. But definitely check that out if you are a merchant or an agency in the space, you're gonna want to know about that because it's all about optimizing, your presence on Google and everywhere else. Alex Levashov mentioned tried bugs, crickets with beer today. Tastes better than it looks. I've been ranting about cricket protein for a long time. Let me see if I can pull this up here. I don't know if this is going to work. So this is I was trying to find I feel like I'm trying to start threads on topics that I'm into, like Calendly or like whatever, like different things. And I can't, I feel like I had posted about cricket protein back in the day. Um, or yeah, I feel like I posted about it a few times. I created this search thing, tweet search to search tweets, because like the amount of times I try to find something I tweeted and I literally can't find it for the life of me is wild. But like I've been bullish on cricket. Like I haven't tried cricket protein, but I heard a podcast on it, and I was like, that makes total sense. So it was just interesting to see this because I think that within 10 years, crickets are going to become huge in the U.S. Um, and I heard that from someone else. I didn't come up with that idea myself, but it's like sushi, for example, used to be completely weird to like the American palate. And now it's like super normal for a lot of people. And I think the same is gonna happen with crickets. Like it sounds super gross, um, but it's just one of those things we're gonna eventually like the economics just make sense. The cost per pound of protein is just so much lower, which is what makes it interesting. But yeah. And then what do we got here? Baby goats. Yeah, I just thought this was adorable. Baby goats. Goats are the best. I wonder if I can go full screen. I think that'll probably mess up my recording. I want to get goats so bad. Like they're so adorable. They can make milk and stuff like that, but we're not allowed to. Excuse me, we're not allowed to here because of the HOA. But like how cool are goats? Like seriously, they're just so cool. All right, that's literally all I wanted to say was just how cool are goats. Okay, this was a fun thread. Shout out to Mike Sudik, my buddy here, who started a little trend with the wind sprints. Well, he was quote tweeting somebody here, Zach Hommel, who did some wind sprints, and then he did it with his kids. And I was about to do, and then he tagged me somewhere here. He's been roping people in. So he roped in Jason here, who did a video with doing some squats here with the kids. And then he tagged me, and then I popped in. I was gonna do the wind sprints, but then we have a whatchamacallit? We have a like a what's it called, like a barrel or whatever for moving dirt around that I can put all three kids in. But then I needed a rope to tie to myself, and I didn't think I had one. So, anyways, I just picked up my kids here. I just picked up all three of them. One little nuts, and then he's just been tagging people left and right. So this is like, oh, dude, those are hard to do. Those one-legged squats are friggin' hard. Yeah, so he tagged this dude, and it's just going wild. Like he's just tagging. he's just tagging people left, right, and center. So it's really funny. I tagged my boy. What did I do? I tagged my boy Steve. Steve Nam, where are you at, bro? So I want to see you up in this mix. Trying to get Steve to do a podcast with me, a Garyvee fan podcast, where all we do is recap things that Garyvee does, which I think would be kind of hilarious on the one hand. On the other hand, it would be sort of like the dumbest podcast in the world. Cause like there's podcasts that like recap, like other TV shows or things like that. But just recap Gary Vee would be like so silly. But at the same time, like it would be, I would kind of love it too. But I haven't really been watching too much Gary Vee stuff. I go in phases. Like I'll be in a phase where all I'm doing is binging on Gary Vee stuff every day. But I'm not really in one of those phases right now. But I'm still trying to get Steve to do one of those with me. So we'll see if I have any luck with that. But anyways, that's all I got. That's all I got for you. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna just end this with a quick ad spot for Commerce Hero. I've been working on the site a lot lately. Every day, putting in some work, coding and stuff like that. Today, I did some work on the talent request flow, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I'm not going to show that right now, but if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, dude, check out Commerce Hero and let me know what's up. Let me know if you got any feedback on it. All right, that's it. I'm going to get out of here.